What's up, guys? Philip Pack Pythons back in the snake pit, and today I am exhausted. So exhausted. This past month has been crazy, work-wise and here in the snake pit. It's been nuts. Especially this past week or so, it's been extremely exhausting. Before we get into too much, I'll go ahead and spill the beans. I got the test results back today. Super stoked that they came back negative. I plan on doing more testing. For anyone that hasn't been following, my vet tested for some common issues. I've got some sickness spreading amongst my animals. My vet tested for some common illnesses that she could test for, found nothing. And then the next recommendation was to test for nidovirus, which is a very contagious virus that is becoming more and more common. It was found, I think, about 6 years ago, and it is slowly showing itself to be more and more common in the reptile trade, specifically with pythons. Fortunately, we set it off the test, it came back negative. Since the vet brought that up as an option, I have been treating my collection as if it had a virus. And that is miserable. Would not wish that on an enemy if I had an enemy to wish it on. It's miserable. Everything I've done in this room since then has been extremely time consuming. Everything I touch, I have to think about what I just touched and what this item has touched and what I'm gonna touch next and where I'm gonna put that item down so that I could do something else with a different, migraines and anxiety and just endless worry and stress. I can't even bring myself to interact with my animals that I love to mess with. These ball pythons are incredible creatures. It's the reason why I got into this, is because I love the snake itself as a being, not as just some item. And I'm worried that if I play with my animals, that I might get them sick and kill them. It's terrifying. But fortunately, the test came back negative, which is a good thing. Not negative is a positive, if you can follow that. No nidovirus was found in the sample. It was just one sample. So I plan on sending off more test kits and having them evaluated. I also plan on testing for paramyxovirus, which is another virus that can go around in ball pythons, but the symptoms are slightly different than nidovirus. The symptoms that I was having did look like nidovirus. The symptoms for paramyxovirus are slightly different and not likely in this case, but I'm gonna do it just for the sake of it. It's been crazy. This has been a brutal process. The support I've received from you guys has been extremely, extremely helpful and encouraging. I can't thank you guys enough. But if it's not nidovirus, what now? That could be something environmental. I originally was under the impression that if they did not find anything fungal or bacterial in the animal, they pulled samples from one of the sick animals and found nothing, and then sent it off to a lab, and the lab found nothing. So the next step, according to the vet, was that it's potentially something viral. So that's the route we took. It's not something that doesn't appear to be anything viral now. We're gonna confirm that, but so then that brings us back to, okay, well, what could be a simple issue that could be causing these respiratory infections in multiple animals that appears to be spreading, but it could just be environmental. We did have a major spike in temperature recently. That was it's probably been 6 months now. It might have been less, no, it happened since I started YouTube, so it's probably been about 3 months, fairly recent. And a lot of these illnesses popped up since then. But that's not necessarily the case. It could be. I'll put a link right here to the video of when I almost cooked all my animals because of a equipment malfunction. And then I'll put another video right here where I fixed it, if you want to go see that. Fix the heating element setup so that I could avoid having any of those same issues in the future. Back to present, what could it be? It would, if it's environmental, it would have to be something that's affecting almost everyone, I guess, because it's multiple animals. If it's environmental, it's not necessarily something that's spreading. It could just be like the temperatures are too high or too low, or the humidity's too high, or something in their bedding could be an irritant or whatever. I can eliminate the bedding being an irritant and causing stress or whatever because these problems were happening on bedding that I've been using for a year now. And they're just becoming prevalent in multiple animals. So that doesn't seem logical. I did change bedding recently, but this all started happening right before then too. So it's not been going on long enough to be the original bedding, and it hasn't been going on soon enough to be the new bedding. So that doesn't make sense. Humidity. Humidity could be the problem, kind of. Currently, the humidity in this room is 65%, and it's 79.3 degrees in this space, which is beautiful. Oh man. If the animals were loose in this room, just out in this open air, man, they'd love it. They would love it. Living on the hog, high on the hog. They'd be living it up. But unfortunately, that's not the case. They are in these tubs. These tubs have a gap across the top, very small gap across the top, and on the handle area of each end of the tub, the front and the back, has a even bigger divot with more airspace. And there were holes drilled in every tub, front and back, and I had the hygrometer, thermometer setups like this one right here in several enclosures, not in every single enclosure, but in a bunch randomly throughout the collection so that I could monitor how they were doing. And I believe I had a few in the adult rack that were malfunctioning, which was giving me misleading information. Now that the humidity is higher in this room, which is seasonal, wintertime, humidity is nowhere near 70%. But because we're in the rainy season right now, I'm in Savannah, Georgia, which is already pretty humid. It is terribly humid. Yesterday, it was 80% in here. It gets high humidity. So, with that being said, if it's 80% humidity in here and I got to get it down to 60%, how do I do that inside of an enclosure that has a water bowl and a heating element that's naturally producing humidity by itself? So it's going to be more humid in there than it is out here. More holes, that's where we started. I put way more holes in these tubs, and I also did a little trick with the bedding. Typically, when you break down cocoa blocks, take the block, the way I do it is I was doing it, you chop the plastic off the top, pour a gallon or two into the brick. That causes the cocoa to expand, and you mix it up and shake it up and whatever and get it nice and loose. And then that moisture in the bedding typically helps add humidity to the environment to help them shed and keep the humidity where it's supposed to be. But if it's already more humid than it needs to be, you need to rob humidity from the environment to get it down to a safe level, because high humidity is not bad. If the humidity gets up to 80% for a short period of time, not a big deal. Some people recommend putting it at 80% when they're shedding to assist with the shed process, and then bringing it back down to 60%. which is a perfect setup for them to not have any breathing issues, low stress. It's a nice clean environment. Humidity gets too high, it can cause respiratory infection, it can cause bacteria and fungus to grow, which would be a logical explanation for why the animals got sick. But here's the problem. They started getting sick the original animal that got sick was 9 months ago. The second animal that got, or maybe it was 8 months ago, something like that, earlier this year. The second animal that got sick was a couple months later. So now we've got two animals that got sick in the cooler part of the year when the humidity was way lower, and humidity was not a problem for sure in these enclosures at that point. So it had to be something else other than humidity. Right now, situation with it becoming very rainy and humid, it would be a logical explanation, but again, timing doesn't really make sense with the other animals that got sick. So nothing really makes perfect sense as an explanation for why they're ill, but they are ill. So, and humidity is definitely too high right now. So I went through all these tubs, pulled out that normal mix of bedding that is typically no big deal, no issue, pulled it all out and took one of these bricks, put it in a tote, and I took a hammer and I smashed it, beat it all to hell, and broke it up dry, and then put that dry bedding in these tubs, which is going to hopefully absorb some moisture and help drop the humidity in the environment that they're living in. And that, combined with extra holes in the tubs, we should see some very quick improvement in the humidity levels in these enclosures. Really looking forward to that. A little peace of mind, and hopefully we can start to, or we can stop having additional animals get sick. At this point, I have 2 quarantines set up. I did finish building my secondary quarantine, and the primary quarantine is still set up for visibly sick animals. Secondary is set up for possibly sick animals. I got all the temperatures bumped up on every single enclosure in my entire collection, and upstairs is bumped up a little bit higher. We're trying to keep the hot end of those tubs around 95 degrees and the cool end around 85 degrees, which is hotter than normal. It's not recommended for a healthy animal. Down here, I got them at about 92, 93, down to 83. That is a little higher than normal, 3-ish degrees above what I typically would keep them at, 4 degrees depending. But the higher temps upstairs is because they're ill. We're trying to boost their immune system. Same thing down here. We are trying to keep animals from continuing to get sick. And anyways, if you guys know a good reason why seemingly animals in a seemingly healthy environment with no bacterial growth, no fungal growth, no viruses, if you have any idea why they would be popping up sick, feel free to share information down below. And if you share it in a friendly manner, I guarantee you I will be receptive to the information you share. And if you don't, I don't put up with people that like to run their mouths. I'm a nice guy. I'm nice first. I'm always nice first. But anyways, I've had some hooligans in my comments section lately. If you guys are bored, feel free to go wander and share your thoughts on the conversation. But anyways, I have an appointment. Today is Friday. I'm posting this later tonight. So Monday morning, first appointment at my vet, my exotic vet here in Georgia. I have 3 animals set up to go in and be seen. We're going to do full exams on every single one of them. We're going to check those for additional bacterial infections and fungal, recheck everything, make sure, see if there's anything visible that the vet can find in these new animals that have shown up as being sick. Originally, we assumed that it potentially being viral, we needed to consider that these were sick for the same reason. So the vet did not recommend bothering to retest these the same way we did those. But now that we've eliminated virus off the potential list, we're back to the basics. So very next appointment available, that's where they're going. Let's jump. Lately, the videos have been so dreary. I've got a pile of stickers that I haven't shouted out that I've been receiving. It's not for lack of love. Thank you guys for sending all this cool stuff. We are going to do those real quick, but the videos lately have been kind of bummy, and I don't want to like be like, oh yeah, look at these stickers, but oh man, my freaking world's falling apart over here. So since this is a kind of a positive, upbeat video, gonna jump into some shout outs. This shirt came from JT at Reptichip. Thank you, brother. I did not order it. I didn't ask for it. He didn't tell me he was sending it. I don't know how he even knew what size shirt I wear, but he nailed it. This shirt is awesome. It's something that was going around whenever they had the fire at their home. Very sad, very unfortunate. So cool to see the community come together and take care of somebody like that. And he's a great business guy. I just dealt with him for the first time, ordered some Reptichip, and they screwed up the order and only sent 3 bricks instead of 5. He sent out some more. And then I also received this shirt. So I don't know if this was an apology for them screwing up the shipping, or if he just, I don't know why he sent it, but thanks for the shirt, JT. Very cool. He also sent some stickers, and we'll get down here and shout those out real quick. All right, we're going to start over here with All-Hallows Balls. It says, let's get spooky. Very cool. Atypical Exotics. They have an autistic child, which is awesome because I also have an autistic child. That's kind of how we met, through conversation on, I think, Instagram or Facebook, something like that. But great people. It looks like they do a lot of live streaming on Instagram, which is something I may figure out at some point. I'm not that technical yet. But they sent some shirts over too, one for me and one for my wife. So the next upbeat video that I make, which hopefully will be in another few days, I am going to wear that shirt, give them another shout out. Speaking of autistic children, if you hear squealing in the background, that's my kid having a meltdown for some reason. I don't know what's going on in there. The joys of parenting. Another shout out, ALP Morphs. Very cool logo, I dig it. Got this other one right here with 2 awesome looking snakes that I couldn't ID if I tried. Cool looking animals. Let's jump over here to Royal Fusion Reptiles. Very cool, holographic. And then I got another one from them. Royal Fusion, oh, right here. Very cool. Viking Serpents. We did a shout out for them a while back. They sent over their new logo. Look at this cute little, oh, look so cute. Oh my gosh. Let's see. ECD Dragons. Very cool. Looks like they're into beardies. Love that. Love bearded dragons. I used to have beardies. Haven't had them in a while. Might get them again. I don't know. They're neat. They're very cool animals to keep. Like a tiny pet dinosaur. Let's jump over here. I'm not sure if that's Coosa or Coosa River Exotics. This came with a letter that explained their story, which is an amazing story. It's sad. It's a daughter and mother who took over the breeding operation for their recently deceased husband / dad. So the dad passed away, and the daughter and the wife took over, which is awesome. It's really cool. It's sad, unfortunate, and I would hope that wouldn't happen to anybody, but I feel like if I ever pass away, I know for sure my wife ain't touching none of this. This is not her thing. There's about, out of almost 80 animals, there's probably 2 that she'll reach in and pick up, and then she doesn't even do that. Typically I got to get them out for her. But I love her to death, but she's not into this. But you guys are awesome. Keep up the good work. If there's ever anything I can do personally to help you guys, feel free to reach out. Much love. Thanks for the stickers. This is Coco or Reptichip, and they sent over an Easy Hatch Tray sticker. I don't know if they make Easy Hatch Trays or if they just sell her. I don't know what the deal is, but all their links will be down below. Everybody's links will be down below. Let's see if I missed any. Here we go. One more, or 2 more. We got Knowmad Exotics. Really cool name. I saw y'all gave stickers to Billy, and I remember the name, and I thought it was very intriguing. I don't know if that's, I don't think that's how you spell Nomad. I think Nomad is actually spelled N-O-M-A-D or whatever you would, how you would traditionally spell it. They spell it K-N-O-W, like no, like to know something. Knowmad Exotics. Maybe that's how Nomad is actually spelled. I don't know. I'm not an English guru. I'm a math guy. And then the last one we're gonna do is gonna be, well, we'll do this one real quick. This came with the shirt, which is again is for JT, something they were giving around. I think they sold these to raise money for JT's family for their house burning down. Terrible, terrible thing that happened there. But again, awesome for the community to come together. And then last but not least, Martin's Morphs. We got a holographic here, standard, and then I think I have one more for them right here, purple. Very cool. So anyways, this video went a little long. It's been a minute since I uploaded. I'm sorry that I haven't been keeping up, but like I said earlier, I have been swamped here, super busy. And then also with my work, I've been working 6 days a week, which for a truck driver means I've been working 70, 80 hours a week, which is brutal. But the money's great, so hey, got that going for me. I'm sure there's plenty of people with the COVID stuff going on that are less fortunate financially. I am blessed to have the job that I have and work as much as I can to make as much as I can for my family. It's very cool. And the job that I have it's not too bad. I drive a truck. It's exhausting. It's physically demanding, but it's not that bad. I love it. I love Bonnie. I love spending my days with Bonnie. But as for these animals, I think we're heading in a positive direction. We still don't know what the problem is, but we will sort it out. You guys stay tuned. If you aren't subscribed and you made it this far, you enjoy what we're doing here. This is kind of our typical style. If you've been watching the last few videos, they've been a little dreary. This is more my thing. But if you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. I'll put a little button, a little circle right here where you can click to subscribe, and then I'll put a video right here that I think you might like and enjoy to watch. But that's it for today. You guys take it easy. If it ain't easy, don't take it. Peace.